Hello and welcome to Just Therapist Things, where we talk all things therapy. My name is Jordan and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist from sunny California. I currently work at a private practice where we focus on child anxiety reduction, and I also work for a nonprofit cancer support organization. Thanks for listening. Hello. Today's episode is about preparing for summer break. And if you thought this episode was going to be about summer bodies, fun travel, making the most out of your summer, well, kind of the last one, but nope. This is about how to prepare for summer as a therapist when a lot of clients cancel or no-show during this season. Summer is tough for therapists no matter what population you work with, really, because the sun is out, travel is popular, and people just don't really want to go to therapy as much when there's an option to do something outside or with your friends or family. This is, of course, a huge generalization because there are many people as well who ramp up their therapy during the summer, or they just continue as usual. I work mainly with kids right now, and when school ends and summer starts, kids are pretty MIA. There are even a lot of cancellations or missing sessions leading up to summer because there are so many end-of-the-year events happening at schools. When summer is approaching, and I know that my caseload will take a dip, I find myself excited for more free time and also anxious about the pay cut. Therapists in private practice are basically commission-based or production-based. So when you don't have a session, unless there's a late cancellation fee, of course, you don't make money. This is something to be aware of prior to entering private practice, that income can be inconsistent depending on the seasons, depending on the client population, among other factors. Ways to avoid major inconsistencies in income include setting boundaries with clients about cancellations, increasing your caseload as much as you can, and maybe finding another stream of income, which I will talk about in a minute. My current practice does a really great job at preparing clinicians for summer. We have a fairly strict cancellation and no-show policy so that our therapists do not take a huge pay dip during the summer. And that is something that was established by the wonderful leader of this group practice, and they have seen success with this. My group practice also encourages us to take on more clients leading up to summer so that our caseloads are more solid. Clients may also choose to pause sessions for the summer with no guarantee that there will be a spot for them come fall. This is a helpful way to stabilize income and know if you can take on more clients during the summer or if you need to, reduce your caseload for any reason. But if a client really wants to save their spot for the fall, then they will make time for sessions during the summer. At this point, so maybe about a month before summer officially starts, I am reaching out to clients to learn their summer plans and if there's any travel where we won't be meeting. And I'm finding that I still will have pretty good consistency with private practice clients. I also have the consistency of leading support groups for 2 nonprofit organizations, which, although it's not a lot of income, it is something constant that won't change during the summer. Unless you are very clear with your scheduled days and times for sessions, which if you are, I am very, very impressed, but your schedule will probably change during the summer if you're not super clear with this. For example, a kid client who you may have seen after school at 4:30 p.m. can now come in at, let's say, 10 a.m. instead. Or an adult client may have summer Fridays for work and they want to meet on Fridays instead of your normal Tuesday time. Summer is great, in my opinion, in this way because you can make accommodations for clients and you can also alter your schedule in a way that is best for you. If you have some travel or if you want some days free, then you can really kind of alter your schedule for that during the summer. I personally am very excited for this because right now I see clients mostly in the afternoon and evening every day, and I sometimes get home late, like at 8:30 p.m. So with summer approaching, I am expecting that I will see more clients during the day, and then I will have my summer evenings more free. Although schedule changes can be good for the therapist, it is definitely stressful. You have been used to your routine, and now the routine is changing, and it may change again when summer's over. It can also be hard to coordinate with clients who have a lot of summer plans or to even know what their summer plans are. There may be a client who has a month-long sleepaway camp or another who has a 10-day vacation, and you might have to adjust your sessions based on that. So it does kind of require a lot of flexibility, which can be difficult because it is disrupting the routine that you have known for the last year or however long. Instead of focusing at the dip in income, which truly makes me pretty anxious if I think about it too much, I like to reframe these down seasons as a great break for me. There is a huge issue currently and kind of forever of therapist burnout, and summer months can be a great time to regroup, reset, engage in more self-care, take vacations, just do what you need to do to reset and get ready for the fall. I am looking forward to spending more time outside, spending more time with friends and family and my dog, and doing fun adventures, and also podcasting more and writing more and creating more of my e-guides. That is what I am super excited for this summer, as well as, of course, still working and still seeing clients. I do acknowledge that not everyone has the financial luxury of being able to look at the summer months as a break and to take a break. And so I know that these times, as well as times around the holidays and the winter and Thanksgiving and things like that, can be extremely stressful for therapists who work in private practice. And that is where, before going into private practice, I think that we really have to take a good look at our finances and do a lot of calculations and see if a salaried position would be better. But it really just depends on the person. And, people do have a lot of financial stability in private practice. And there are other ways to kind of supplement your income as a therapist, which I'm learning more and more as I am 3-ish years into being a therapist now, that there are a lot of therapists who do have side hustles or do have other streams of income. And so that is something too, that if you are stressed about finances, is something to look into. And, even if you are not overly stressed or you do have the luxury of taking breaks, finding that side hustle is kind of fun. And so that's something I'm looking at as well, just with all these creative outlets that I enjoy doing. So side hustles and ways to increase income. I am not going to go into too much depth about those now. I will do a blog post and probably do another episode about that to go into more detail. But it's not easy. It's difficult to do. It takes planning, it takes effort, but so many therapists do it. One clinician that I really admire is Dr. Marie Fang, who works as a part-time therapist and has a handful of other streams of income and is very successful. I will definitely link one of her videos below, and so you can look into that. After doing a lot of research, here are some things that I found that therapists do to supplement income. So if therapists work in a private practice, then they can supplement also with nonprofit work. There is also an option of doing more non-clinical work, but still in the field, such as doing something administratively for a nonprofit or a group practice. You can also be a supervisor, which is something that I'm super interested in doing. after I hit the 2-year mark of being licensed, because those are the requirements in California. But you can be a supervisor and make some income that way. You can also do some consulting. There are a lot of therapists that consult for companies and other workplaces and consult with schools. So that is a really interesting avenue as well. And with that, teaching. A lot of therapists also can teach at community colleges or grad schools, maybe high schools too, probably any type of school area you can find some teaching at. And speaking. I found that a lot of therapists as well do speaking gigs for the national therapy organizations, but also for just kind of nonprofits, for workplaces, for really any group of people who want to hear what the therapist has to say. Another thing that people do is writing. So books, blogs, things like that. Social media is huge nowadays, and a lot of therapists engage in that. So doing things like podcasting or Instagram or having a website. And something else that I'm interested in doing, and I've kind of started already doing it a little bit, is creating courses or creating e-guides and selling those online. And places like Amazon makes it really easy to do that. And there's Teachers Pay Teachers, there's Gumroad, there's so many different options to get your guides out there. So those are some streams of income that are within the therapy field. And of course, you can do something totally different as well. You know, there are some therapists who work at boutiques or work at a restaurant or do dog walking, things like that. So really anything. And I have found personally that supplementing clinical work with other avenues that potentially could produce income are really healthy and also reduce burnout, because you are not just seeing clients for income. There are other avenues. I will link some resources in the episode details so you all can do your own research about what to do when there are down seasons as a therapist. And again, it is very challenging, and it can also be very nice. It really is just what you make of it. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you have a great summer. Thank you for listening to Just Therapist Things, where we talk all things therapy. I'll talk to you soon.